What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Javaris. Thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment down below. Now, in this video, I'm going to be telling you a few things I think you all should know before attending a large university. Now, a lot of these things, they can apply to all colleges and universities, but this video is specific to those with students of about 30,000 or more. If you don't know, I attend the University of Georgia, and that has about too many students, so that definitely would count as a large university. I'm going into my senior year. Thank God we almost out. So yeah, I don't want to talk too much during the intro. I'm going to get straight into the video with the first thing I think you should know before attending a large university, and that is you will be humbled and quickly. Now, of course, I'm not saying that to intimidate anyone or say that you can't be successful at a large university, but I want you to keep in mind, we were all the top dog at our high school. So a lot of us, we had 4.0s in high school. We were president of multiple organizations. We played sports, did all the extracurricular. So you're going to have to remember what makes you special or different. And if you're not able to answer that question quickly for yourself, you're going to lose yourself. Like a lot of people were, I wasn't, but a lot of people was valedictorian at their high school or, star student, all of that stuff. So don't think just because you were the top dog at your high school that you're automatically going to go to these large universities and continue that. Now, not saying you can't, of course, but I'm just saying don't think that just because you were great in high school that it's automatically going to be applied to college. We're all starting with a clean, even slate. And I don't want to say no one cares, but no one cares. Like, all those accomplishments, they'll get you into the school. They may get you some scholarship funds, but that's about it. They're not going to, your professors aren't going to care. The other students definitely won't. So it's kind of in the past. Now, you should still be proud of your accomplishments. Don't let anyone belittle what you've done in the past. I'm just saying don't carry that high school mentality of, being so great into college. So the important thing to remember with this piece of advice is to stay humble and stay ambitious. Always want more. Now, don't overwork yourself. Want more because you want more. At this point, you're in college. Every decision you make is on you. So when you join these different organizations or make these different decisions, do it because you want to, not because your parents want you to, not because your friends want you to, because if you don't like your experience, you can only blame yourself. So now I'm going to move on to the next thing I think you should know, and that is to not lose yourself. Now, I kind of touched on this previously, but I wanted it to be its own point. When you go to a school with over 30,000 students, it can be easy to slip into the wrong crowd or even try to change yourself to join a certain group of people. Now, I'm not going to tell you which group of people you should get in with or how you should act, bro, that's on you. But I will say with this large population, you don't have to change yourself to fit into a certain crowd. There are so many people, you'll find someone with your similar interests and hobbies. It's 30,000 students, you telling me nobody's similar to you? And the way you can go about meeting these people with your similar interests is to get involved on campus. So join different clubs and organizations. Talk to people on your hall. Meet friends. Make sure you're getting involved and actually actively participating on your campus events. The third thing I think you should know is to take full advantage of all your resources. I cannot stress this enough. The libraries, the student tutors, academic advisors. Now, of course, every school is different, but my school, we have several libraries on campus. It's so many free tutoring services that the students can use. It's really almost no excuse for certain classes. If you're struggling in a class, get help. I keep saying over 30,000 students, somebody has taken and passed the class before. Now, I'm not saying cheat, but somebody has taken and passed the class before. So if you have any older friends, ask them, ask your RA. Anybody you know that may have possibly took the class, ask them for help. The next thing I think you should know is to use the large population to your advantage. And I mean this in two ways. The first way is to meet new people. It's no reason you should go to a school that big and only know 3 people. Now, you don't got to be friends with all the other people you meet, but I do think it's important that you meet as many people as possible because you just never know how they can be beneficial. They can help you with schoolwork or just be, someone new to talk to. And the second way I mean this is to try things you wouldn't usually do. So now I'm not saying wild out, but it's not like high school where you do one embarrassing thing and it's the talk of the century. So like if you trip and fall, people are going to laugh at you, but 10 minutes later, no one cares. It's not like the whole campus is going to know that you failed. I think when you get to these large schools, you're going to really realize how no one cares. Like if you worry about what people think, you're really wasting your time because I assure you no one. So bro, shoot your shot. The whole campus will not know if you miss. You will get to these campuses, you will see people riding a skateboard with a onesie, and people are just gonna be walking by like nothing's going on. The next thing you should know still kind of accounts for the population is that you should remember that there is gonna be a large pool of competitors. So when you're applying for these different leadership positions, if you're applying to, be an RA, if you're applying to be, in SGA, keep in mind, there's so many students at the school, which means that now don't be discouraged by that. Still apply for the things that you want, but just keep in mind, you need to always put your best foot forward in everything you submit because there is going to be a larger application pool. Now, the next thing I think you should know is to, if you can help it, to never burn bridges with people. Now, I know I said earlier that the campus is so big with so many students, but you'd be surprised how often you run into the same people. And also a side note, I don't know if burn bridges is like a southern thing or I don't know, but I'm just gonna explain it for anyone who doesn't know what that is. Burn bridges just kind of means having like bad energy, or not beef, but just having a vendetta against someone. So that includes administration, other students. You just never want to have bad energy with anyone because you never know when you may see them again or need them. Like for me, I had a professor 3 times before. Luckily, we were always on good terms, but just imagine if the first time I took her, we had bad energy. That would have just carried on into the other 2 times. Now, I'm not saying put up with crap, but don't burn a bridge that doesn't necessarily have to be burned. The next thing you should know is to know your campus when it comes to scheduling your classes. The last thing you want to do is have to be walking back and forth from one side of the campus to the other. So you want to keep time into consideration as well. Like my school, we have a 15-minute transition time. So you don't want to have a class in North Campus and then have to go all the way to South Campus because it'll be impossible to get there in 15 minutes. You're going to be late every day, and some professors either won't let you in or they're going to mark you absent, and those attendance points be adding up. Next thing you should know about is football. I can't talk about these large schools without talking about a Saturday football game. If you weren't a football fan before, you're going to be one now. Now, of course, this can vary. Every large school isn't necessarily a big football school, but most of them are. So be prepared for those weekends when you have a home game. The whole campus is going to be packed full of alum. Now, I recommend that everyone should go to at least one game if you're not going to get the season pass. But honestly, the season tickets, that's the best option. And the last thing that I think you should know is that college is what you make of it. So don't believe those different stereotypes of, going to a big school, your professors won't know, you're just going to be a number. That's not true. Now, yes, of course, if you don't take any initiative, then yes, you are going to be just another number when it comes to those 300 people classes. But if you actually want to meet your professor, want to have that relationship, it's possible and it's not that hard. And also, speaking on that, most of my classes have been like 50 people or less. So that's not huge. Like, people love to say going to these big schools, you're going to have 100 plus people in all of your classes. Yes, you are going to have large lectures, but most of my classes have been smaller. So that wraps up this video. I told you a few things that I think you should know before attending a large university. Some of these were like advice and tips, but others, they were just kind of like things I thought you should know. If you have any specific questions regarding going to a large university, definitely feel free to comment them down below. Make sure you are subscribed and like this video. And until next time.